Monrepo Stars and South Castries. They are with Matthew John, who's been one of the two match referees in this tournament. And let's join Matthew John on a very warm morning here in St. Lucia.
Good morning, viewers. This morning we are here for the third place match of the St. Lucia Blast Dream T10. We have Monrepo playing South Castries. South Castries is being led by Mr. Clovis and Monrepo by Mr. Shalry. We will have Mr. Clovis to spin the coin. Tails. Tails call. Tails call. Monrepo win the toss and will be.
We're going to have a bowl first. I think that I back my bat in order to chase any total that the opposition team might get on the board. Yesterday our bowling didn't exactly come through for us, so hopefully we're looking to restrict the South Castries team this morning. And if all is well and our execution is on par with what we need it to be, we should be victorious.
Changes to your team today?
Yeah, we have Sean Hill coming in for Keon, and we have Ivanas coming in for Rohan, who's out injured.
Talk to us briefly about the two players you have coming in today.
Sean Hill is really experienced. He's played for the Windward Islands before. He's left arm quick. I think he could hold his own, so he should be able to get that ball moving early on for me. And Ivanas is a big hitter, pretty much like Rohan. So it's a really even balance, even with the two players coming in and those two going out. It's just a substitution of the same caliber of players.
And you certainly want to make a statement as you get off the stage this year.
Yeah, it's our last game. We're looking to be on top, especially for this game, looking into the next year's tournament. That's one of the main reasons for having our other players come in, to let everyone have a feel for the cricket, and next year we could come back and come even stronger than this year.
All the best.
Thank you.
Wade, you're coming in now for Johnson. You're the captain, as you said, for the moment today. Yeah. Talk to us about, first of all, any changes to your team today?
Well, today we have only one change. Joseph comes in for Siobhan. That's the only change we made to yesterday's team. And hopefully our performance as well will change, and you will see an improved performance from our team. Especially in the fielding department? Yes, it cost us the game yesterday. We dropped some crucial catches, which cost us an extra 20 odd runs, as you can see in the final score. Took a toll on our batting. And obviously you want to leave the T20 Blast this year with a powerful statement as well. Of course, as defending champions, we will leave with a powerful statement to show that next year we will be back stronger and try to retain our championship next year. All the best, Wade. Thank you very much.
Well, toss going Monrepo Stars way, and they will bowl. Interesting, Greg. Wayne Clovis coming out to spin the toss for Johnson Charles. Is he the captain of the day, or just spinning the toss in place of Johnson?
Well, I'm not too sure, Reds, but he's the standing captain for this team. He did indicate there's only one change, so Johnson is obviously playing, so Johnson would be the captain.
Well, it's interesting, as you mentioned earlier, Monrepo and South Castries playing for third and fourth. South Castries the defending champions.
Yes, Reds, you can look at the team for South Castries: Johnson Charles, with Clovis, Collinus Calendar, Xavier Gabriel, Nixon Edmond, Noel Leo, Kemrol Charles, Romario Simons, Aaron Joseph, Avelinas Calendar, and Daniel Jabatis.
So you'll have to put what they did last year behind them and look to try and win this, Greg.
And the Monrepo team: Christian Shalry, Kevin Augustine, Hazel Shalry, Shadrach Descat, Craig Emmanuel, Kenan Henry, Jamal Lesmo, Dikej Henry, Sabinas Emmanuel, Shonil Edward was coming in for his first game, and Avanas Emmanuel.
So Shalry is going to be Henry starting, and turn away on the front foot out towards square leg. Let's say very special good evening to our friends in India, and we hope that you will enjoy our last day of the Dream 11 T10 Blast being played in St. Lucia. And starting tomorrow, a similar tournament with 6 franchise, also sponsored by Dream 11, starting in St. Vincent. Charles waits, gets a livery down the leg side. Good take by the keeper. And the keepers have really earned their contract. A lot of movement of the feet, and you've seen them diving left, right, and center. Remind us of swimmers and goalkeepers. So 1 without loss. Johnson Charles waiting on Henry, and that's forced away. Driving that down. A lot of bottom man into it. He's strong on the onside. But Johnson Charles has played 1 or 2 lovely square drives in this competition. Now he reverses the shot as if he's on a golf course. So it's 2 without loss. Colvis, who spun the toss, maybe the vice captain Colvis, maybe we can give him that official target. We'll face up to Henry, as Henry is on his way. Little chipping run. Full toss. Is that over the waistline? No, well, not signal. No way. Came very close. I would think 3 or 4 inches high. Greg, it would have been a no ball.
Yes, Henry on this occasion, Reds. Just a full delivery, but luckily for him, it was not over the
2 without loss. Henry in the first over. Most of Colvis. Colvis swings that away down towards the square leg boundary. Is probably going to be pulled back just inside the boundary as they hustle back for the second run. They probably thought it would have gone all the way. So they ran 3. Good running, very good running. Total moves to 5. And he squirted that through square leg. Just let me tell our friends in India and the Caribbean that Greg Wilson, our Commons personality, has played for the Windwards. Clive Jules, our young commentator, and Roland Cox, our international scorer. It's Henry Bowles, and that's in the air, and even if there was a mid-wicket and they dropped inside, there was no one there to catch it. Maybe a little surprised that they haven't got a mid-wicket in, as Charles moves to 7, and the total 11 without loss. If you're going to bowl to Charles, you really got to have a deep mid-wicket.
Yes, Reds, but deep mid-wickets certainly would not have been effective. This one went all in way into the Johnson Charleston for 6.
So he has the right to hit things in his own stand. Well, quite a few people have also taken the opportunity in this competition. 11 without loss. Henry, a testing time, only 11 to him already. And the toss going to Monrepo and deciding that they will chase. They have every confidence in their batting. Charles is due for a big one as he hits that high over extra cover. But you can have a man right back in the rope, and that wouldn't matter. Clearing the boundary has been a very productive over for South Castries. 17 on the board, Charles already 13. And I think we are getting some indication that Charles is very, very keen with Clovis to ensure a good competitive score when it's all over.
Yes, they certainly would want to end the tournament on a high, having been last year's champion and having to play for 3rd place, right? So they certainly would want to make a statement, and batting first at the top of the order, it really gives him the opportunity to go out there and really express himself and get a big one, so to speak.
So 17 without loss. I'm sure that Christian Shardy is going to ask his bowler to bowl very, very tight as Augustine gets warmed up to come into the attack. You could certainly do your partner Henry by maybe just conceding 3 or 4 runs, just to pull it back a bit. Well, it's going to be Charles in strike. You really got to bowl off stump and not too far up. It's got to be just back of the length, as they say. This is short and forced down to mid-off. And they single easily taken. So, he's given the strike. Charles to Clovis. I'm sure that Augustine is quite happy that only a single came off that delivery. So Charles 13, Clovis, that was Charles in the strike. Clovis took the single. And the delivery, which is top edge, short over, high over the head of Charles. And he managed somehow or the other to get the toe of the bat onto it, clear the keeper, and down to the boundary for 4. 17 Charles, none for 22. Very short delivery by Augustine.
Yeah, short and wide. Charles actually was into the short and looked to bail out last minute Reds, but the ball took the top edge and, as you did indicate, over the keeper down to the boundary for 4.
Could have gone high and keeper taking the catch, but it did in fact clear the keeper and drop close to the rope just below us. Charles 17 in strike still. Clovis is 4. And Augustine goes in and gets bowls a no ball. Well, not a good start by Monrepo. 22 at our loss. And you don't want to be giving Johnson Charles a free hit. He doesn't need a free hit. He can hit a legal delivery virtually out of this ground. And we have seen it go out of this ground in the competition. So 23 were lost. Charles is 17 of 6 deliveries. And Augustine goes into Charles, and Charles gets that off the inner part of the bat as he swings towards mid-wicket. Along the ground and came to the man inside the circle. So again, the strike is rotated. Clovis has an opportunity to add to the South Catrice total of 24. Charles is 18. 7 off the over so far. 17 came off the first over from Henry. So Augustine moving. Clovis is getting a lift in delivery. I think that was the main factor there. Made good height outside the line of the off stump. And probably, Greg, that's the length he should be bowling.
Yes, just sort of back of a length. The sort of length you cannot drive and can pull or cut.
We've lost the sunshine for a while. And again, beaten outside the off stump, but no edge taken. But, good comeback by Augustine. Still, 7 runs conceded. He's bowled 5 deliveries. And after 1.5 overs, South Catrice, the defending champions last year, playing for 3rd or 4th place at 24 without loss. The sun comes back as Augustine goes in, and that is virtually picked up outside the off stump. He didn't have a lot of movement of the feet. The over is completed.
Hi, I'm Teddyson John of the Teddyson John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
Strike.
Yeah, Shawnee Edwards.
I think looks like left arm fast and maybe bowling over.
Yeah, young Shawnee Edwards. Actually, his dad played for St. Lucia as well. He has played on the 15% Lucia.
Good to have your depth of knowledge. And
the dad is the former Minister of Sports. Sure.
Oh, well done.
Shawnee Edwards.
Yeah. Who himself was a manager of
the Winwoods.
Yep.
Actually, he and I, we opened for St. Lucia on a tour of St. Croix.
Who got what?
Well, he was struggling that tour badly. I was the MVP of that tour.
But in the meantime, it's going to be Edwards to move in, left arm over, always needs to see one, and that's gone huge, I think, out of the ground into the car park, I hope somebody's not looking for their wins. Huge 6, 30 without loss. What a greeting to the young man.
Yes, certainly this is one he would remember for as long as he remembers the name Johnson Charles. Very first delivery to Johnson Charles in the T10 Blast. He was deposited outside of the ground. So,
I think a new ball will probably have to come. No, well, the ball is retrieved very quickly. There may be some kind of spectator. As I said yesterday, watching cricket at Board in Guyana, if the ball is out of the ground, whoever finds it gets free entry. Okay, Edwards bowls, and this ball is gone in a different direction, but the same addition to the total, not a 6, short and pulled through the mid-wicket, and didn't go as long as the last one, but it does adds up to 36 without loss. He has had 36 off some 10 balls, 4 6s and 1 4. None for 36. Charles on 36. Clovis on 4.
yes, Charles really took a liking to the short pitch bowling of Shonell Edwards. The young man would have to learn very quickly is that he does not possess the sort of pace to trouble Johnson Charles with those short pitch deliveries, and Johnson Charles has moved on to 18 sixes so far in the tournament.
And Edwards goes in, conceding yet another 6, and he laid back on this occasion, really laying back and launching in to the full shot, clearing the boundary by far, and already 18 off the over. I mean, a young man could really, be troubled by this for the next couple of weeks.
Certainly he will have some nightmares, Reds, but he still has 3 balls to perhaps redeem himself. 226 scored so far in the tournament, so quite a few sixes been struck this year.
42 without loss. We've had 2.3 overs, so it may be a high-scoring semi-final. We didn't have all that high scoring yesterday. Now he's going wrong, and bowls a no ball. Well, just add insult to injury to put salt into the wounds. Again, we welcome our brothers and sisters in India and all of St. Lucia. Possibly Sportsmax has now joined us. And welcome to all of Jamaica, some 3 million people of real sporting talent over the years. 43 without loss. Charles on 36. And didn't time that very well. It goes bouncing down towards mid-on. So all of a sudden, conceding only 1, Augustine relieved in a sense. He's still none for 19 of 3 overs. And I think very happy now, Edwards, that he's going to bowl to Clovis, who's only 4.
Yes, we're happy to see Johnson Charles get off strike, but it was a good delivery in this case, well upped.
Still going wrong, and Clovis letting it go outside the off stump. And he was very happy with that. It was always like a 2-day game where you're letting it go to wait for later. But one of the good things, even Clovis on 4 of 7 deliveries, Charles is scoring at rates at the other end. And it's none for 44 of 2.1. The finals to come later. That's the delivery, which is in fact going right through. And looking to pull it up. Keeper took it low. The 3rd over is completed. And South Castries sent in a 44 without loss to Charles on 37. And Clovis, the vice captain, on 4.
Yes, a good ending to the over there by young Edwards after conceding 18 in the first 3 deliveries. He really came back nicely to end up with 1 and 2 dot balls in the end. So certainly that would be a learning curve for him.
And maybe his captain will give him one more, but I doubt that. He is learning from the whole experience, because I learned to bowl a better length, and he's, as a left armer, he's got to go cross the right-hander. So 44 without loss, and it's going to be Edwards from all appearance to continue. And yes,
Kevin
Edwards. Augustine from the top end. Son is with us. Happy Friday to all. Happy Friday evening to all in India. As Augustine makes his way in outside the off stump and bowls a wide. And I did get an email saying that the coaches needs to work harder with the various teams in order to cut out the wides. Taking into consideration that people are a little rusty, Greg.
Yes, but there's been a marked improvement, especially this week, Reds.
Augustine, and that's taken off the edge and nicely stopped by the third man coming around. The very young man who was roughed up comes and produces a very, very nice stop.
Yes, good work there by Dikesh Henry. Coming from Whitefoot Mun, running to his left.
And they could have looked for 46 without loss. Now there is, in fact, a short third man who probably could still be in a catching position with an outside edge, and that's hit out in the offside by Colvis. He's been just turning the strike over when he gets an opportunity. He moves to 5. Charles is 38, and it's none for 47 or 3.2. They're scoring close to 15 at this point. Augustine back to his mark, 1.2 overs, none for 10. Edwards 1 over for 20. And that's beaten outside the line of the off stump. A rare miss by Johnson Charles, who was just named in the Barbados CPL squad of retainers. The overseas players, as in the case of Guyana, was not named. Trinidad has named everyone. And Dwayne Bravo going to the St. Kitts Nevis pit. That's not named yet. That's outside the off stump, and a flashing blade by Johnson Charles, but it's too wide for him to make contact. So one more to the total. 48 without loss. And I can tell you that you're into the fourth over. It's been a quiet over so far, so to speak, as this delivery hit with the right hand, strong right hand, strong shoulder. Always had a good top body, well developed. And yet another 6 to the South Castries captain. He goes up to 44, 54 without loss. Clovis is on 5, and they are now averaging at 14.73. That's outside the off stump, wide call. And you were just saying, Greg, we've had an improvement. They're trying to say there's no improvement.
From 6 extras so far.
It's Augustine. And for 18. And that's smacked away through the extra cover position. Long one comes across. They don't look for the second. They could have. It would have been tight. But the long one had to do a lot of running to his left. So maybe neglecting the second run. Charles already far ahead of the game. He's on 45. Clovis is 5. The last delivery of the fourth over, as Clovis is hitting that flat batted down towards a short mid-on just inside the circle. And that completes the fourth over.
Have you ever wondered how money can work for you? At Fix, we offer several investment options that can do just that. One option is the Fix Fixed Deposit, which is a short-term investment where funds are deposited for a minimum of 1 year at an attractive rate, better than anywhere else. The fixed deposit is unique and tailored for both individuals and institutional investors, and gives you the option to reinvest for another period after maturity. For more information, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740 or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
May very well get 100 again this year.
So, it's going to be Descat to move in. He's going to bowl his fast medium. Roland Cox is saying the end of a long 14 days. And it's been enjoyable, but it's work every 14 days. That's a swing and a miss, as they like to say in Australia. We're looking to plant a left foot and a mighty drive with it. So Charles on 45, Colvis is in strike. 57 without loss. Interesting news coming in about who's playing where and who's coming, which we will deal with in a minute. This Scott goes in, and that's a big appeal. I'm disappointed that they didn't get the decision going their way. Appeal for leg before, he was pulling across the line. Was he outside the line of the off stump? That's the big question will be in the mind of the umpire. So the leg by signal for this 6:45 as a Charles, one more extra, none for 58. So South Africa coming to St. Lucia, and we have a situation where Barbados will receive Australia and St. Lucia. This is the white ball situation onto the front foot with the bat flashing over the shoulder, but the one missing component he didn't make bat. So Barbados and St. Lucia will host the Australians in the white ball tournament, and Pakistan shall you to go to Barbados, Guyana and Jamaica. So a fair amount of traveling. It's a long way from Guyana to Jamaica, and here's hoping that the COVID numbers will be coming down in all parts of the Caribbean. That's short and pulled away. Nice balance, beautiful balance, and there was no losing of shape. It went very, very quickly, flat as a bullet. It didn't drop at all. Hit the concrete base at the bottom of the stand as he pushes the score up to 64, and Charles has gone to 51.
Yes, Reds registering his third 50 in the tournament and also equaling the fastest 50 again, 18 balls, which was scored by Johnson Charles, South Castries versus Central Castries.
Charles at 64, the scan goes in. That's well stopped by the bowler, hit hard into the ground, and he had to stop his advance and get to the right to pluck it out. Could have been at least a single. Don't think it would have beaten the long off unless he had muffed it. So a duck ball appears in Roland Cox. Scoring apparatus, none for 64. He's on 51, Charles. As he struck in the pad, that's going down left side, no appeal. So that's completely over. So after 5 overs, some of the fastest scoring in the competition, 64 after 5 overs, Charles 51, Colvis is 6. They're scoring just under 13. Clivis Jules will be your next voice after hearing comments from the former Windward's batsman, and we are going to see a bowling change also.
Yes, good platform set there by the South Castries Lions at the halfway stage. Some 64 without loss, and most importantly, Johnson Charles registering his third half century of the tournament. The second, he has equaled his fastest 50 in the tournament, which is he got in 18 balls, and that was South Castries versus Central Castries. So Johnson Charles certainly in a rich vein of form and presently leading run scorer.
Good morning to you, Greg Wilson, and good morning to our viewers in India, in the Caribbean, and locally. And we see Jamal Lesmore. He's going to take up the attack from the Players Pavilion end, and he's bowling to Wade Clovis, who's on 6 from 13 balls. A bit of a slow going for Wade Clovis, but there's no need for him to rush. Johnson Charles is going great guns at the other end, and Clovis is bowled by Lesmore. Second delivery of the over, and Clovis going for the big heave. You might have heard me talking about him getting a move on with it, and going for the big heave out towards mid-wicket and bowled by Jamal Lesmore.
Yes, when Clovis really continues to struggle, he has not had the best of tournament, but good bowling there from young Lesmore to dismiss Clovis, really playing across the line, completely missing this one, and he was bowled off stump.
Slower bowlers again having an impact in the tournament as Lesmore is being brought in, and immediately he dismissing Wade Clovis. Very, very low strike rate from Wade Clovis. 6 runs from 14 balls. He's taken over 2 overs to get his 6 runs out of the allotted 10 overs.
It was really slow going by him, but to be fair to him, with the rate at which Johnson Charles is striking the ball with a strike rate of 255. Certainly there's no need for he himself to have been going helter-skelter, but he needed to improve the strike rate nevertheless.
At least a run a ball, or somewhere in the 90s, just below a run a ball, but facing that many deliveries for Clovis, 10 dot balls is in a 10 over match is really putting your team under pressure. But thanks to Johnson Charles, they're on 64 for 1, and it's Corlinus Calendar who's joined Johnson Charles at the wicket. He will be facing up to Lesmore, left arm round wicket to Calendar. Calendar is pushing out towards long on, and it's Augustine who comes off the rope and to field just outside of the 30-yard circle. Calendar is off the mark, and more importantly for the Lions, Johnson Charles is back on strike. He's facing up for the first time to Jamal Lesmore around the wicket again, around the wicket and out towards square leg, deep square leg, and finds Shawnil Edward. They come through for a single. The score moves on by 1 to 66, and Charles moves to 52. Charles will very well be eyeing 100 today as Lesmore comes in again, left arm round the wicket to Calendar, and Calendar is driving in the same general direction out towards long on, and he gets a single. He's not timing it very well. It's early going. He's not used to the pace of the wicket as yet, Greg.
Yes, Calendar seems to be a slow starter from what we have seen in previous matches.
Lesmore into Charles. Charles is turning this one into the onside out towards a deep mid wicket, and he comes through for a single, a very long single there for Johnson Charles. A bit of a...
My name is Godfrey. I have been doing cassava from young with my mom. She showed me everything to do with cassava, how to grate it to prepare the cemetery. I enjoy making it. It's my life. That's my canoes.
Most economical over so far for the Monrepo Stars, and they will be looking to restrict the Lions to a score as low a total as possible. They wouldn't want to be chasing the highest total of the tournament in this match for 3rd and 4th place. But Johnson Charles, he's there, and he will have other ideas, and he is on strike as Dikej. It's Henry. Dikej Henry will take up the attack again from the media center end, and he's bowling to Johnson Charles outside off stump, and Johnson Charles is just guiding this one down towards a whitish 3rd man, and he gets a 4 for it. 4 more to Johnson Charles. The score moves on to 72 for 1, and Charles has moved on to 57. He's keeping his high strike rate up, Greg.
Yes, the length on this occasion was good. It was a full pitch delivery, but too much room. He could just free his arms, and as you did, he just guided this one to the left of the man at point and down to the footman boundary for 4.
Henry into Charles. This time he's a bit shorter, but still outside of stump, and a fantastic square drive, beating the diving point fielder and into the boundary rope for 4 again. Johnson Charles is motoring along.
Yes, best shot we have seen from Johnson Charles for the morning. This one just leaning back slightly and just hitting it past the man at point all along the carpet for 4. So certainly we have seen 2 delightful shots from Johnson Charles in this over.
76 for 1, the Lions. Charles has moved to 61. Will we see the first 100 of the tournament in this match? Henry into Charles, and this one is hit over the umpire, the square leg umpire, into the square leg boundary for 4. 3 consecutive 4s. Johnson Charles is really bringing the heat here for the South Castries Lions, and the score has moved to 80. He's moved to 65.
Yes, yesterday you did indicate that the Lions, they were teamed and they were caged, but today they are certainly roaring, and the captain, Johnson Charles, is really picking up the pace, and as you did indicate, possibly looking eyeing the first century for the tournament this year.
As Henry moves in to Charles again, and he gives him a slow one. Charles out towards the fielder there, and he's taken him. Change up delivery out towards Hazel Shalry, who was sweeping on the offside, and Johnson Charles will be very disappointed with himself. He could have picked anywhere, but the safe hands of Hazel Shalry, and he's dismissed for 65, Greg.
Yes, change up delivery on this occasion. Just driving through the line, but was not in full control, and the ball went way to the rope, to the extra cover area, and Hazel Charles, I thought, took a very smart catch, just moving to his left.
A good catching from Hazel Shalry, and I'm just being told, Greg, that we've been joined by our viewers on Sportsmax 2. So we want to say welcome to our viewers on Sportsmax 2, our regional counterparts following here. This is the 3rd and 4th place playoffs in the 2021 Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast, and we've had a blast here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. As we are with the new batsman, we can say hello to our and thank you to our sponsors, Dream 11, our title sponsor, Calabash TV and Allbiz Media, Flow, Made in Paradise, Scott Sports and Awards, the Trophy Center, Blue Waters, Full 100, First National Bank, and Kendall and Gill Chambers for making this one possible. We want to say a pleasant good evening to our viewers over in India following this one. Today we promise to have an exciting one, and Dikesh Henry, he's going to continue. The new batsman is Kemrod Charles, but he's not on strike as the cross, as the ball was in the air. Henry into Calendar, and Calendar is driving past the left hand of Dikesh out towards long off, and he finds Augustine. Kevin Augustine is in the way, and they come through for a single. Calendar moves on by 1. The score moves on by 1 to 81, and Calendar is on 3. That brings Kemrod Charles on strike, and he'll be facing up to Dikesh Henry for the first time today, and Charles is into the wicket delivery that is heading towards the leg side, but he just turns this one around, not timing it cleanly. The keeper comes around not before Kemrod Charles is off the mark, and the score moving on by 1. It's just a leg by signal there. This one might have come off the pads as the score moves on to 82 for 2. Kemrod Charles is still on 0. Calendar is on 3, and the South Castries Lions losing Johnson Charles in that over, but still going great guns.
Yes, very expensive spell there by Dikesh Henry. One of his 2 overs, they picked up the crucial wicket of Johnson Charles, but very expensive. He went for some 30 runs. So Johnson Charles was very severe on Dikesh Henry, but they would be happy to see the back of the captain, Johnson Charles.
For sure, Dikesh Henry opening the bowling and going for some 30 in his 2 overs, but claiming this price scalp of Charles as Lesmore continues to Charles outside off, and Charles is pushing into the offside. Christian Shalry, the captain of the Moripo Stars, not doing great work on this occasion, and allowing Kemrod Charles to get off strike, and bringing Calendar on strike. It's Lesmore into Calendar. Calendar is hitting this one out towards long off. Just Shadrach Descartes takes a couple of paces up the boundary and fields this one. One more to the total. 84 for 2. The Calendar is on 4 and Charles on strike. He's on 1 and he goes for the big heave. Not timing this one cleanly. It goes out towards the mid wicket. Sean Edward rushes off the deep square leg boundary and restricting them to just another single. 85 for 2. We're into the 8th over of the match. Lesmore, he bowls to Colinas Calendar, and Calendar is driving again powerfully out towards the man on the long off boundary. A dive in. Shadrach Descartes can't stop this one. Too firmly driven here by Colinas Calendar into the boundary. 4 runs.
Yes, powerfully driven there by Colinas Calendar. Lots of bottom hand into the shot, and this just sped across the ground. So valiant effort there by Shadrach Descartes, but really couldn't save it.
Again, Calendar goes for the big one over the offside, missing it and through to the gloves of Sabinus Emmanuel, and the score remains on 89 for 2. Jamal Lesmore, he is bowling into Calendar, flighted delivery, and Calendar perfect this one now, and Craig Emmanuel sweeping will come around. Not before Calendar comes through for 2. This one comes off the thickish outside edge and out towards the deep backward point boundary. Craig Emmanuel cutting them off and 2 more.
Get more with our Massy card. One card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massy stores and Massy card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massy stores or www.massycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massy card can bring.
Able to pull things back a bit, with the exception of the 7th over where Johnson got 3 consecutive fours. They really seem to be getting a hold of the final set of overs, and this is required at this point in the back end of the inning.
Certainly they will need to get put on the brakes on the scoring. Johnson Charles really was scoring freely as Sean Edward, he comes back on strike from the media center end and into Cameron Charles, slower delivery, and Cameron Charles is helping himself, beating the keeper, and of course out towards the long leg boundary. He gets 4 for it. Cameron Charles, he now gets into the act, and 95 for 2. Charles moves to 6. Calendar is on 10. The partnership is worth 15. A good shot there from Cameron Charles.
Yes, not a good start there by young Edwards. Really has not found his bearing in this game. Just straying down the leg side, really giving Cameron Charles a free hit. Did not make proper contact, but once he had gone past the man at the short fine leg, it was always going to be 4.
Always going to be 4. It looks like it's Ivanas Emmanuel, and this time Edward left arm around the wicket to Charles, and Charles is driving very firmly out towards long on, and he finds Craig Emmanuel in the way, and they come through for 1. Very firmly driven. A good shot there by Cameron Charles. He's finding his range now. He's timing it a lot better as he faces more deliveries, Greg.
Yes, he's one of the batsmen who really has not come off in the tournament. He has struggled a bit in this year as well.
The 9th over being bowled by Edward. He's still round the wicket to Calendar, and Calendar is hitting him out towards mid-wicket, and he finds Descartes there. Another firmly hit shot from Colinas Calendar. This one was traveling out towards the man there at cow corner, Shadrach Descartes, and he can only get 1 on this occasion. So a bit of a comeback from Sean Edward. He's pulled back the last 2 deliveries, gone for singles. He's now at the top of his mark, and he moves in to Cameron Charles this time, who's on 7 from 5. Edward into Charles, a full right up there into Charles, who's driving out towards the long off, and they come through for 2. Christian Shalry, half stop there, and taking a pace off that ball. Christian Shalry with that half stop, and just allowing them to come through for the 2nd run, Greg.
Yes, Chanel, from what we have noticed, he seems to be a much better bowler when he looks to bowl a full-length delivery rather than looking to bowl short.
Doesn't have the pace to pitch it in short, and this time it's short. Kemerald Charles not timing it very cleanly out towards Shadrach Descat, who comes off the boundary and restricting them to one. A good throw back into Sabinas Emmanuel. Good arms there from Shadrach Descat, and 100 comes up for the Lions. The Lions are roaring today, much better than they did yesterday in the semi-finals. 100 for 2. Charles is on 10. He's on 10 from 7. Colinas Calendar, who is on strike now, is on 11 from 8. Shonil Edward moves into Calendar, and Calendar is giving him the charge, picks him up. This one is high and handsome. Craig Emmanuel is just a spectator on this occasion as Edward Calendar lands this one into the Grozile stand and goes around and give Kemerald a bounce of the fist.
Young man attempted slow ball again, but good use of the feet there by Colinas Calendar, getting to the pitch of this one and just struck it over the long on boundary for 6. Very expensive spell there by the young man. Baptism by fire, really. Some 45 runs coming off his 2 overs.
Yes, he really was placed under the pump here, Shonil Edward. His 2 overs went for 35. So as you rightfully said, Greg, Baptism by fire, his first game of the competition, and he's been really been given spanking here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground, a very sunny Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. As we see Descat, he's coming to bowl the 10th over. Last 6 deliveries of this innings, and it's Shadrach Descat coming in from the players' pavilion end, and he will be bowling to Kemerald Charles. Kemerald Charles looking to throw everything at this delivery and losing his shape on this occasion. The ball goes through to Sabinas Emmanuel.
Yes, good partnership by these two. Some 26 of just 15 deliveries.
It's a very solid partnership. Once you saw the loss of Johnson Charles, Kemerald came in and he turned over the strike, and now he's looking to press on the gas. 106 for 2. Descat into Charles, and Charles is finding his range this time, but not able to beat Ivanus Emmanuel at a short fine leg. Ivanus Emmanuel keeping guard at short fine leg. That one went straight to him and very quickly, but he was confident enough and had the ability to stop it. 107 for 2. Charles is on 11 from 9. Calendar is on 17 from 9. He's on strike now. To Descat, who comes in, and Calendar finds his range out, finds the outside edge out towards the boundary. Dickens Henry is giving chase, but it only succeeding escorting that one over the rope. 4 more to Calendar. A fortuitous boundary for Calendar on this occasion, Greg.
Yes, the footman boundary, always a productive area in the dying stages of any inning. Really going hard at this one, wide outside the off stump, just peeling off the edge and down to the vacant footman. So 4 more valuable runs to the South Castries Lions.
111. It's already a challenging total. Will it be enough? It's yet to see. As a Descat, they look to keep it at that. He comes into Calendar again, and this time he comes off the other edge and is racing down towards the 5-leg boundary. It goes over the boundary now. 4 more to Calendar, and he's been tested on both edges, Greg.
Yes, this is the second time I think we have seen that in the last 2 days, where one came off the outer edge and the next delivery, the other one came off the inner edge, and on both occasions they traveled to the boundary for 4. So Calendar could tell you these are well calculated shots.
He would definitely see that. He seemed to be getting a move on. 115 for 2. Calendar is on 25. Descat is coming in. He has 2 more legal deliveries to bowl, and he bowls to Calendar. Full toss. It's high up in the air. 3 converge, but they can't get to the drop zone. Descat, the bowler himself, he's running way out there, out towards the mid-wicket, but Calendar did not get the timing on this occasion, and luckily for him, he comes through for 2 more.
Yes, there was height, but not distance. It only fell inside the 40-yard circle. So certainly he would want to make amends with the last delivery and see if he could push his team over the 120-run mark.
Descat will have other ideas. He moves into Calendar, and outside of stump, Calendar is hitting out towards long on. He comes through for 1. They come for the second and returns of a run out. But Kemerald Charles, he put on the skids there and really was able to get in. 2 more to the total, and that is where it will end. 119 for 2. Very good comeback innings from the Lions after what we saw yesterday from them. Good all-round score, all-round performance, all-round batting from the the guys who batted for the Lions today, Greg?
Yes, much improved performance by the South Castries Lions. Yesterday, they were only able to get 78 runs, chasing a total of 116. So it's a much improved performance. The captain, Johnson Charles, really led by example, getting some 65 of 26 deliveries. And Cornelius Calendar certainly played a good hand, 29 of his 13 deliveries pace.
Cameron Charles came in and shared a really good partnership of 39 with Cornelius Calendar. So good batting performance from the South Castries Lions. We've seen 119 being chased here and more than that being chased here before in this tournament. So of course we will see how it goes if with the Monrepo Stars. We know that they have the ability and the lineup. They bat deep enough to chase down this total, but the Lions, they really did exceptional with the bat today. Let's just take a quick look at the bowling for the Monrepo Stars. Dikesh Henry, he went for 30 in his 2 overs. He bowled 4 dot balls, but he claimed the prize wicket of Johnson Charles. After Johnson Charles really took him to the cleaners in the very first over, he went for 17 of the bat of Johnson Charles. He came back, went for 12, and he claimed that wicket. So a valuable contribution from him, but he went for a spanking. Kevin Augustine, we know that he was really coming off an injury. Today he bowled off a little bit of a longer run, although the run-up was still a bit ginger, but he bowled 2 overs, 4 dot balls for 20. Shonil Edward, the youngster who mentioned, got his baptism by fire today. He bowled 2 overs. He only had 2 dot balls in his 2 overs, and he went for 35. So very, very expensive. Shonil Edward coming into this game, the 3rd place game here, and being put under the pump here and going for 35 runs. Shadrach Descartes, 2 overs, 6 dot balls. He went for 19. But Lesmo, again, the slower bowlers coming through. Jamal Lesmo, the pick of the bowlers. He bowled 2 overs, 3 dot balls, but he went for just 13 runs. The batsman just couldn't get him away.
Jean-Baptiste, we can confirm, will start from the commentary box end. And again, we welcome all in India, all to Sportsmax in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean. Information coming in from Jamaica is that Champs, the major young track and field event, a lot of stars come out of that. Jean-Baptiste goes in, and that's off the back foot, but doesn't beat the backward point, just standing up straight, transferring the weight onto the back foot, but didn't caress the gap. So none on the total. Lots of news coming in. Jamaica and Montserrat to play off on July the 2nd in Fort Lauderdale. Montserrat has a great deal of UK-based players, and that squares them up almost. A good delivery, left the left-hander, well bowled.
Yes, well bowled there by Daniel Jean-Baptiste. He has been impressive enough, Reds. He has really held his own in the tournament.
So he comes back to his mark. It's overcast. It's nice for seam bowling as he turns. But a tall order by Monrepo. They need a good fast start. And that's high in the air. Mid-wicket, top edge is coming in. Takes the catch. No, he muffs the catch. He had to come in very, very fast. It was dropping very quickly. He didn't get the ball coming to him. He had to really come in and dive forward. So a little bit of lady luck running that way, and looking to go back, top edge, looking to really pull it, and surviving there. The scat as he moves to 2. Jean-Baptiste goes again. This time he makes a lot of better contact, but again, not exactly the best shape to be in. Hurrying the shot, but getting back to ball. I suppose that was the important thing, but not to the coaching manual. He moves the total to 6. He moves to 6, but Lady Luck running the ball before.
Yes, Nixon Edmond really was slow coming up the mid-wicket boundary. Really did not want Reds to take the catch, in my opinion, because he really got in there slow and put in the dive last minute.
The Scott is 6. Jean-Baptiste trying once more. That's awful swing. So easy to hit that down to backward point. So Barbados Football Association this morning saying all their overseas players will be available. So that's good news. Guyana to play Guatemala in the Gold Cup on July the 3rd. That's got 6 without loss. And now much better shape, standing up nicely. And that ball just about rolling in to the wide long on position. So an effort here by Descott to give them a running start. As again, that back of a length. So he goes to 10. It's 10 without loss. But the kind of power hitting the Johnson Charles displayed, it will be difficult for anyone in the Munro Pro team to match that.
Very difficult indeed, Red, but Descott has been given the role as the pinch hitter, where you saw Ron Lesmore was entrusted with that role in the last 2 games, and the last game in the group stage he did it to great effect. Descott certainly has signaled his intention that he's prepared to go hard, especially in the power play overs, and he was able to get at least 2 boundaries in this first over.
Well, a promising start, but they have to keep going, and they have to keep not falling behind in the asking rate. Asking rate now is 12.22. So the attack is coming from the Kaimangé end, in patois, in English, house full of food. I don't want Greg to be testing my patois. Standing very orthodox for a slip. As this delivery brings them forward. Well, where the non-striker is going. The ball is going nowhere. And he got onto the front foot. It probably was maybe even hit in the groin area. So he was in no position to look for a run. And the non-striker has no mercy at all. So it remains a 10 without loss. And the Gabriel starting the attack. Now he's in some serious trouble. He needs to get his legs pumped. Greg has talked about that. There's nothing you can do but just take the pain. Take the pain. A little bit of good sportsmanship here. A number of the fielding side going up to check with him. And a little lull in the play. I've talked about champs starting, I think, 2 days ago in Jamaica. I've made many, many trips to Jamaica, never had a chance to attend the champs. I did, in a way, had a mini look at what took place in Grenada when they had the secondary school meeting. Tremendous following at the old Queen's Park. I mean, parents, uncles, brothers and sisters all went. This delivery again brings him forward, and he pushes in an orthodox way. But that kind of scoring would not advance the Munro Pro team fast enough. 11 without loss, 1.2. Getting a little cool. Just a cloud or two in the way. Greg is our resident weather forecaster. 11 without loss, he indicates not to worry, it will pass.
A slight drizzle out there in the
Says now is a slight drizzle as the updater. So the slight drizzle comes, the 11 without loss, and that's then a big inside edge. As he lays back to swing that through the onside. A scamper, quick single, but not productive enough in this over.
Not at all. We've sort of low scoring. The asking rate keeps climbing with every delivery.
Jean-Baptiste conceded 10, this young man has conceded 2 as he edges that to the slip area. Johnson Shaw is not taking the gloves and maybe feeling, well, I can take a day off from that. Doing a lot of batting, a lot of keeping, but it gives another young man an opportunity to get the gloves on.
Yeah, Leo is another wicket keeper in the team.
He's standing way back as Jean-Baptiste goes. That's down the leg side and looking to pull at that, but he might have gotten something to it. It couldn't be the glove or the bat. It probably hit the top of the pad. And that's hand up. Maybe getting a little lucky there. Gascati's 11, 13 without loss. We are almost finished the second over. And that's top edge where it's gone. Third man is coming in, is going to drop short. And they take the single. They're looking to get a lot more off of the last ball. So 14 without.
Hi, I'm Teddyson John of the Teddyson John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
Well, you can see the rain yourself, but here's hoping that the wind will take it away. Flags are fluttering their way to our left. That's a charge down the ground. And good bit of work there by the mid-on, diving forward, committing himself on what might have been a sharp single. It didn't happen. Good work by mid-on.
Yes, good work there by Nixon Edmund.
So, score kept on 40 without loss. I think the drizzle is going away. There's sun on the high ground, and that's a real slash, but he was moving away from the line. I think the bowler saw him coming. So well bowled, good control. Baptiste walking back to his mark. Nicely built, about 6 feet or just above that.
He's much taller than 6, right? I would say about 6'4".
As tall as that. Well, maybe it's the angle I'm at. Same angle as yours, but you probably got younger eyes than me. That's flashed away. Really using the arms there and just laying back and hitting it very, very nicely. So a little advance in the scoring, and Descott moves to 16. And 18 without loss is all Descott at this moment.
Yes, Jean-Baptiste just short and wide, and Descott really free in his arms, just struck the ball over the infield and down to the second boundary for 4.
Well, it's nice to see so many young fast bowlers. And there's a good future if they can be coached and given an opportunity. Looking to whip that away. Gets it down to the right of the keeper, outside leg stump. Looking for more off of it. That could have gone down towards backward square. So the main scorer moves to 16, but he's lost his strike. The total goes to 19 without loss. 19 without loss. But I'm happy to hear that maybe Jamaica will get some cricket. Barbados and Guyana also when Pakistan come. We don't know the details of the itinerary. They'll be short and nicely pulled away and well caught. Well, he might have pulled out of the previous effort, but showing great athletic ability. And then when he realized he couldn't get there, he had to dive forward. Brilliantly caught by Gabriel. Jean-Baptiste maybe needs to buy him dinner tonight. So 19 for 1, 19 for 1. And we're seeing Emmanuel going, and he wouldn't be, well, not beyond congratulating the young man for a great catch.
Yes, great catch indeed there by Xavier Gabriel, really running full commitment, and towards the end when he realized the ball was going to drop, really dived and did the acrobatic spin, Reds, but Sabinas Emmanuel, some 4 delivery face for just 1 run, and it has to be the end of a very disappointing season for him in the T20 Blast, because he really has not contributed anything much to the success of his team this year.
As Roland Cox points out, he had 1 off 4 balls, where Descott has been much more productive, 16 off 13 balls. He can do better as he pushes it out on the offside. But maybe we can do a little more justice to what was a great running catch. That will compete among the top catches in the competition.
Yes, certainly. This would be right up there in perhaps the top 2 now, Reds. I could clearly see this one and the Cotton Bowl would certainly be contesting for the catch of the tournament. But good over there by Daniel Jabatis. Saw the dismissal of Sabinas Emmanuel, and his 2 overs, he's only considered 15 runs. So good effort in it by Jabatis.
Now we have some negative signs from the ground staff because they're standing close to the covers. It's a big, large cover. They get it on quite quickly. And in the meantime, the attack will continue. And that's delivery outside the off stump as he appeals for a catch of the wicket, Joseph. Well, he probably feels once I've beaten the bat of the left-handed Descott, I can appeal. So 20 for 1. So it's a tight situation with this weather. It could be just drizzling a little bit, but here's hoping the wind will take it away. This is not a rainy area. That delivery is smack high in the air. Cover is coming across, but it's Midoff who, in fact, gets there. I don't think there was much communication.
Gabriel again.
Yeah, and just kept running. I think he really wanted the catch. He kept running. So all of a sudden, they have lost their second wicket. They've lost their second wicket. And I would think Jean-Baptiste is quite happy to be 1 for 15.
Yes, Aaron Joseph been introduced into the attack, and immediately Reds getting success. The ball up in the air, and Xavier Gabriel really wanted this one, actually caught the ball over the head of the cover fielder. So good commitment by him, and getting his second catch of the inning.
So, will we be lucky with the weather? Here's hoping. We wouldn't want the last day to be hit by rain and the grand final to be hit by rain. Craig Emmanuel now comes in. Got into the 30s in the last game, I think 37 or 34, but had too many dot balls. He's got to be a little more selective. He's off the back foot and almost carrying down to his long on. I suppose in this white ball game, Greg, when you're 20 for 2, you don't have much of a chance, you know, to waste too many dot balls.
Yes, it's a short pace, 60 balls, Reds. You could ill afford to soak too many dot balls. 20 for 2, you might still consider yourself in a good enough position to continue attacking.
So we have 2 Emmanuels at the crease now, and that brings them forward. And all Greg, the Emmanuels are related.
Well, from the Monrepo area, yes, Reds, especially they are from the Magwe area in Monrepo.
Monrepo is an area which is known for cycling and road racing. But they have not had the best of this competition, but they plan to do better next year. As Joseph goes in, and that's an awful looking shot. Didn't use the feet at all, and it goes through to the keeper. Greg, the retired rate is climbing up to almost 17.
Yes, 16.05. And the current rate is just 5.47, so. Yeah, 4.8, sorry. So they're really not going anywhere.
They're falling way behind. you need to have a Collis King type knock. That is in fact a Collis King type shot that slammed away square as he really freed his arms. He had the width there and hit that very nicely. So after well, a couple of dot balls, 4 to the boundary, 25 for 2, but some bad news, the covers are in fact coming on as the players take off. We can't see the rain from here, but I think the umpires and the ground staff could. It's coming from our left, but we've had stoppages which didn't last long in this competition. Greg here is hoping it's one of those.
Yes, we're hoping that it won't be for too long, right? But I would think that the umpires are in the best position. Perhaps they could see what's happening out where we can. So we're not seeing the direction in which the rain is really coming from. But one would hope that we could get at least 5 overs in to really have a match.
Ground staff having to deal with the wind picking up the covers like a sail. But Greg, just a little bit of trivia. When Clivus was on, it was exactly 1-1-1 on the board. And I thought of the late umpire Shepherd. A square legger he would have been hopping. Yeah, jolly fella. And always pleasant to talk to. Had a decent first-class career for Yorkshire. Not many of our first-class cricketers. Greg has gone on to umpiring. We've seen, of course, of late, Luther Kelly, first of all, the Leeward Islanders opening batsman, he did. And now our young former left-arm West Indies bowler from St. Vincent.
Yeah, Dylan Butler.
Dylan Butler. And there was, of course, left-arm spinner, Barbadian-born, who played for the Windwards Archer. But that needs to happen a lot more. I know I'm missing 1 or 2, but just to focus on the fact that the covers are on and the drizzle is still with us. Again, we want to update the situation. Rain delayed play at 25 for 2, but look at the runs needed. 95, Greg, off 35.
Yes, it's going to be a serious uphill task for the Stars if they are to get anywhere close to. But with the rain rest, there would certainly be a reduction of overs and a reduction of runs.
And this, to our viewers, this was one of 6 venues checked for rainfall in St. Lucia before they built the stadium here, formerly Beauchamp, now the Darren Sammy. It wasn't built just for the World Cup, it was built before the World Cup, so this facility was well in advance of the World Cup. And you know, Greg, if we get a little bit of rain, you can imagine if it was other parts of St. Lucia, it might be raining even heavier.
Yes, certainly in Mindo Phillip Park, right? There are a number of occasions where you've had 4-day regional matches and not a single ball bowl.
Yes, I've spent many days there. When I first came to St. Lucia, Herbert Henry, who was still alive, was the leading commentator and the sports editor, and it was a very frustrating period.
Yes, we're looking at the highlights there, right? Of the Monrepo Stars, Jean-Baptiste to Sabinas Emmanuel, while just helping this one, and we see Xavier Gabriel coming in and putting in the dive and the acrobatic dive towards the end there. Really stupendous catch there by Xavier Gabriel. And young Joseph followed up with Shadrach Descat looking to hit this one over the cover area, and Xavier Gabriel with a safe pair of hands running across and catching this one over the extra cover fielder. And Sabinus really given the room, really freeing his arms and hitting this one through the point region down to the boundary for 4. And then we had the rain interruption. So some 95 with 56 legal deliveries. Certainly there will be a reduction. So only time will tell, Reds, how many overs we would lose.
Well, they haven't left the square, so there's an indication there they feel it might blow over. But I think our producers are working for our viewers who might have missed the Johnson Charles display. That would be nice to just have that coming back. In the meantime, as we wait for that possibility of the Johnson Charles exhibition of hitting, as we might have told you, 65 with 4 4s and 7 6s. And when he went, it was 80 for 2. So rain delay situation here, and we're getting the focus. Greg, is over to you.
Yes, Charles. Well, DK Henry on this occasion, this one has been deposited in the Johnson Charles stand. DK again to Johnson Charles, just too much room outside the awesome, really freeing his arm, hitting this one over the extra cover boundary for 6. Augustine on this occasion to Charles. Really high bouncer outside the awesome. Last minute looked to bail out of the shot, but got an inside edge. And young John L. Edward coming in for his first game, first delivery was dispatched into the car park. Next delivery again, young Sean L. Edwards on the short side again and deposited into the Johnson Charles stand. Some ferocious hitting there by Johnson Charles. Young one coming in for his first delivery again, of his first over. And short ball again. Wide mid wicket. Same result, 6. Johnson Charles flat batted this one towards the players' pavilion end for 6. So he was really in a destructive mood. Shadrach Descat, Johnson Charles, and he pulls this one through the mid wicket area into the Johnson Charles stand for another 6. Lesmore and Wayne Clovis is comprehensively bowl off stump. The slower bowlers Reds really have done well in this tournament. DK Henry's second over, slower ball, and this one was just carved past the wide footman for 4. And the shot of the day for Johnson Charles, just laying back and just driving this one through the point region all along the ground for 4. In this one, straight down the leg side, Johnson Charles just continuing to fill his boots. Easy pickings for him. By this stage, he had already gotten to his half century. DK Henry with Charles. Change up delivery, looking to hit this one through the cover area, but only could find Hazel Shalry on the cover boundary. Lesmore. This time to Calendar, and Calendar. This one was powerfully struck to the mid on boundary for 4. Edward again coming in. Loose delivery down the leg side, and Cameron Charles just helping himself to an easy 4. Edwards again was given the charge by Paulinus Calendar, and this one went all the way into the Castries stand. Shadrach Descat again going for the big heave over the cover. This one just peeling off down to the vacant footman boundary for 4. Next delivery getting the inside edge, passing the wicketkeeper Sabinus Emmanuel down to the fine leg boundary for 4. Fortuitous shot indeed, but they all counted Reds.
Well, a much encouraging picture as the covers are being pulled away, and they first dragged it out off the square and ensure that there was no surface water, and they did in fact just double check. So we have the umpires already coming out, and is don't believe that there's any surface water anywhere. It was a very light, persistent drizzle, Greg. Roland Cox is going to check to see if we're going to lose any overs. We doubt that because it wasn't all that long a period.
Yes, I think
10 minutes lost so far.
10 minutes lost, Roland is saying?
There may very well be perhaps a reduction of 2 overs Reds.
Well, maybe we will.
Remember, there's a second game. We're supposed to start at 1:30, and there's supposed to be a cessation time, so you have to stick to that cessation time. So there most likely would be a reduction.
Well, we wait to hear from the match referee. We'll probably communicate with Roland Cox, the scorer.
And then if they take out overs, the dog will blow it.
25 for 2. And of course, Mr. Duckworth and Mr. Lewis, Greg, waiting to pounce. Were you ever, and I'm saying this jokingly, were you ever a victim of Duckworth and Lewis?
Not that I can remember.
You mean you didn't score all those mighty runs in those days?
No Reds.
Well, we hope that we'll get going pretty soon, but of course the big grand final is yet to come. But already with the South Africans scheduled to leave South Africa, I think on the 28th of May, we can see signs, Greg, of action, especially by the ground staff. They're working, watering the nets.
Yeah, the practice area.
Throwing a lot of sand and things like that. And already we can see the 2 middle patches getting very green all of a sudden. And some indication of what will happen. There are 2 practice matches we played here, once one a 4-day game, once a 3-day game, and then the opening test match starts on the 10th. And Greg, I do have a suggestion, Greg. I think now that so many people, about 6,000 or 8,000 people have had their 2 jabs, I wonder if the West Indies board may consider a proposal to allow people with 2 jabs to come in. 1,000 people having 2 jabs will give the test match quite an atmosphere.
Yes, that would be a good proposal, right?
One moment there, please.
I think it's a proposal that perhaps should be put forward to the...
They say 2 overs have been.
So, we getting some information, Roland?
Yeah, the umpires have taken out 2 overs. So the revised target is 98 from 8 overs. So another 73 in 4 overs.
So the Duckworth and Lewis system will come in, but the dream, the impossible dream.
So you're looking at an 8-over match now.
I was a better singer. I would have sang that, but that is almost an impossible situation. Greg, as the umpires inches on, their sun on the high ground in those lovely houses that has been built around here. This is a bit of an amphitheater, but that's a look at the revised target, Greg.
Yes, 98 from 8 Reds, so an additional 73 runs from 24 balls.
Yes, 73 for 4 overs. They'll probably have to come and give it a go and die with their boots on, so to speak. But I don't believe that Duckworth and Lewis are going to be blamed. I think they were being outplayed when the stoppage came.
Yes, they were, as one would say, they were behind the 8-ball Reds. So it was very slow going by them, and towards the end they lost a flurry of wickets. So that certainly did not help their cause.
So that's a look at the ground from side on. That's the grass mound. In CPL, it's well attended, like most grounds in the Caribbean hosting CPL, and of course St. Kitts Nevis scheduled to be the host in August of this year, and we wish all the
born from the same soil, growing stronger,
raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
I'll bank for you and me,
taking us forward so proudly.
First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far. The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's a First National way.
Every day we're banking better, faster and smarter, convenience like no other.
First National Bank, the best of who we are.
First National Bank, together we'll go far.
We'll go far. For decades every day, it's clear, it's true.
First National Bank, we're here for you.
90th of 8 overs, 25 for 2. So the two Emmanuels are in fact together. The two Emmanuels are in fact together. And good, Greg, to see that we didn't have the rain continuing too long.
Yes, certainly it would have robbed us of some good cricket. But one could hope, Reds, that we continue to have an improvement in the weather, especially for the finals.
Well, here's hoping that Craig Emmanuel can display some serious hitting. He's capable of that as calendar goes in, and he's flat batting, hitting that, and just swinging at it. Got to be a little more selective. It wasn't up enough, maybe, for that kind of shot. So he's given the strike away. It's 4.1 overs. Clive Jules will be your next commentator, and it's 2 for 26. See, this delivery, taking the bottom hand away and just using the top hand to turn it out to a square leg. I think his role is to try and give Craig Emmanuel as much of the strike as possible.
Well, right, with the sort of revised targets, I think they both need to be playing attacking shots. The question is, if he cannot get it to the boundary, he should ensure there's not too many dot balls.
Long on and forward square leg is out, and that's a wide delivery. Keeper having trouble getting across. No question of the keeper, you got to move right across. So one more to the total as inches up to 28 for 2. This is the second delivery of the 5th over. And Canada is on his way, and that's hit very powerfully, but just a single out the mid-wicket. They're looking, no, touchdown for the second. Craig Emmanuel didn't look at his partner, but the body language says, no, I'm staying here. So he moves now to 3. 29 for 2, and that's high in the air. It's going to be caught down at backward point by Johnson Charles. So I think the body language is probably also saying that, you know, it's all over bar the shouting. A very weak attempt as another wicket goes, and 29 out for 3.
Yes, so if the target Reds getting 69 of 21, you certainly need a big effort from both ends, and the young man Emmanuel, but Ivanas Emmanuel really looked like he really was not up to the task, but he did give it a valiant effort, but certainly it was not good enough, and on this occasion perishing to the bowling of Colliner's calendar. One would say a very easy catch there to Captain Johnson Charles.
So 3 for 29, 2 deliveries to complete the 5th over. As Craig Emmanuel, no doubt will do. He's a very fierce competitor as he waits for this delivery. And that peels off the outside edge and almost runs past the man down at fine leg. Managed to stop the advance as the ball spins back and away high to his right. So 2 to Emmanuel, he moves to 5. It's 3 for 31. As Khalid going back to his mark. 1 for 5. So a fairly happy South Castries side, and a short lifting delivery and going over the right shoulder. That completes the 5th over, and Henry yet to score. Craig Emmanuel is 5. It's 3 for 31 after 5 overs. More from Greg Wilson and Clivis Jules.
Yes, the Stars really, they are not shining at all at this moment, with some 5 overs have already completed, just 31 on the board. They have only gotten into double-digit scores in just the first over, Clivis, and everything else has only been single digits. So not the sort of striking rate that they would want if they are to get anywhere close to the required total. Some 67 needed of 18 deliveries.
It's much too slow for the Monrepo Stars. As you rightfully said, the Stars are fading away, and they really need to get a move on with things. I think the asking rate now is 22.33. So really what looks an insurmountable task as Simmons bowls to Henry, the new batsman, Kernan Henry. And he's looking for the big heave, Kernan Henry, not making any contact, and it goes through to Noel Leo. The asking rate continues to climb, 67 from 17 balls. Romario Simmons turns without stopping and into Henry. Left arm over the wicket. This time Henry makes contact out towards a point, and the fielder comes off the boundary. They come through for 2. 2 more to the total, 33. Henry moves to 2. 65 required from 16 balls, Greg. It's really a big ask now, almost an impossibility.
Yes, a big ask indeed for these 2 out in the middle.
Romario Simmons at the top of his mark, and he's wiping the ball, getting some of the moisture off it, into Henry. Peels off the outside edge, over the footman fielder, into the boundary for 4. And Cameron Charles, in a really funny way, putting in a slide, but that was not before the ball went into the boundary of the thickish outside edge from the bat of Kernan Henry and into the boundary.
That was just a moment of levity there for
lighter moment from Cameron Charles. Very confident now. Simmons into Henry again, and Henry is pushing this one into the offside, not timing it well. They come through for a single, brings Craig Emmanuel back on strike. Henry moves to 7 from 4. Emmanuel is on 5 from 5. 14 balls, 60 runs required now. So really, the asking rate has gone down as it's gone up. Simmons comes into Emmanuel, delivery that is on the line of leg stump. Emmanuel looks to turn this one down to fine leg. Let's see if he got any bats on there. The umpire will signal the leg by. He came off the pads, and leg by Craig Emmanuel. Not happy with that. Thought he would have glanced that one down to short fine leg. Simmons, left arm over the wicket into Kernan Henry. And Kernan Henry giving him the charge, hitting him high and handsome out towards the players' pavilion. He gets a 6, a long hit from Kernan Henry.
Yes, this one was struck right into the practice area, really giving Simmons the charge and really get into the pitch of this one and really freeing the arms.
Have you ever wondered how money can work for you? At Fix, we offer several investment options that can do just that. One option is the Fixed Deposit, which is a short-term investment where funds are deposited for a minimum of 1 year at an attractive rate, better than anywhere else. The fixed deposit is unique and tailored for both individuals and institutional investors, and gives you the option to reinvest for another period after maturity. For more information, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740, or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
Good first over, 1 for 5. He will be bowling to Craig Emmanuel, and they will really need at least 4 or 5 of these balls to go over the boundary in this over if they are to be in with a chance, Greg.
Yes, you need a huge over, perhaps of about almost 30 runs.
It's Joseph into Craig Emmanuel. He does not time this one. Lifting delivery outside of stump. Craig Emmanuel looking to play into the offside and not making contact. This one comes off the bottom edge and just out towards the square leg where Leo, the wicketkeeper, comes around. Craig Emmanuel comes through for 1. He's on 6 from 7. And Henry, who's on strike now, he's on 13 from 5. Aaron Joseph, he's bowled 1.1 overs, 1 for 6. 52 runs required from 11 balls. Joseph into Henry, and Henry is giving him the chance out towards the offside. The sweeper comes around to his left and restrict them to 1 run. Good return back into wicketkeeper Leo, just 1. 51 required from 10 balls. Aaron Joseph, the young man, is in the middle of a really good spell. 1.2 overs, 1 for 7. He moves into Craig Emmanuel. A full delivery outside of, and Craig Emmanuel is hitting out towards mid-on, and this one is landing just inside, probably just, it looked like it hit the rope on the full. Yes, it did, and the umpire now signals the 6. Good shot from Craig Emmanuel, flat. This one just is a little bit too straight from Aaron Joseph on this occasion.
Yes, but sort of Yorker length, we had to use a lot of the bottom hand to try to get the elevation, and he was fortunate enough to get enough and striking the rope on the full. 231
sixes this time. There's no question about this one. 1 bounce for out over the extra cover fielder into the boundary. Craig Emmanuel, he's getting a move on, but is it too little too late for the Monrepo Stars?
Yes, Aaron Joseph on this occasion just going wide outside the off stump, and Craig really just freeing the arms and getting this one to the wide of the long boundary for 6.
41 required from 8. Aaron Joseph, what started as a good over, is turning out to be on the expensive side as Craig Emmanuel is stepping into the line of the ball, inside the line, and hitting out towards Cameron Charles, who is on the long on boundary. They come through for 1. 40 needed from 7 balls. Really a huge ask from the Monrepo Stars. The Stars have all but faded here as Aaron Joseph moves away from us into Henry, and Henry is driving straight back past the bowler, pass mid-off in the circle and out towards the boundary. 4 runs to Kernan Henry. Some good hitting from Kernan Henry.
Yes, this one was powerfully struck back past the bowler. His partner Craig Emmanuel had to take evasive action, but some good lusty hit in there. So 46 of 6 needed. Game 1 is still possible.
Still very possible.
Mathematically, it's still possible.
It is very possible. 36 of 6. But one would think they would need a bit of indisciplined bowling, but they really need to take probably all 6 to the boundary to get those runs.
Yeah, but looking at who is going to close the innings, Xavi Gabriel, he has really been a good depth bowler for the South Castries Lions. So it would be a very peculiar task if Craig Emmanuel can pull up that 6 sixes of Xavi Gabriel.
It would be a big ask for Craig Emmanuel. 36 needed off the last 6 balls. The Lions are rowing here this afternoon. Gabriel moves in from Players Pavilion and into Emmanuel, lifting delivery about the body, and Emmanuel turns this one to short fine leg. Daniel Jabatis moves in to do the fielding. Emmanuel gets off strike 35. He takes 1. He's on 18 from 11. Kernan Henry is on 18 from 7. He's on strike. And Emmanuel getting out of the kitchen early.
Yes, he's not going to stay and face the heat.
As the heat comes from Gabriel into Henry, and Henry is driving out towards mid-off and not timing it perfectly, and they come through a back of a slower ball from Xavier Gabriel. Change-up delivery from Gabriel.
Yes, certainly has taken off the pace of those deliveries. The very first one ball to Craig was a similar delivery where he really took off the pace.
Gabriel comes in to Craig Emmanuel. This time he has everything on it. Craig Emmanuel steps into the line looking for that shot into the onside, probably looking to glance that square or just behind square, missing the ball completely. Goes through to Leo. A dot ball. 34 runs required from 3 deliveries. Henry's on 19. Craig Emmanuel on strike. He's on 18 from 12. Gabriel comes into Emmanuel, giving him the charge, and this time he finds the middle, he finds the timing, and deposits him into the net area. I hope the groundsmen are safe at the back there.
Yes, huge hit there by Craig Emmanuel. Just giving Gabriel the charge and really getting to the pitch of this one and freeing his arms. And this one was deposited into the practice area. So certainly one of the longest sixes we've seen.
A long 6 indeed from Craig Emmanuel. He moves to 24 from 13. Still 28 runs required in the last over from Xavier. Just 2 balls, 28 runs. If Francis Mindu Philip, the late, was alive, he just hit a 14 from each ball. It's a virtual impossibility now. A very low probability of these 28 runs coming from the last 2. Gabriel moves in from the Players Pavilion and into Craig Emmanuel, working this one, stepping away and working this one out towards third man. He comes through for 1. The second one is on chance of a run up, but the throw is not sharp enough. Leo had to be diving away, and they come through for 2 runs at the end, very easily completed.
Yes, good aggressive run in there by Craig Emmanuel. Despite that fact, the writing is pretty much on the wall. He was very much keen to come back for the second run.
He's moved to 26. He's on strike. Xavier Gabriel, final delivery of the innings, and he bowls to Craig Emmanuel, and Craig Emmanuel is looking for the big heave. He's looking to throw everything. He misses it and goes through to Leo. The over comes to a close. Monrepo Stars, the Stars have faded away. 72 for 3. And Craig Emmanuel, he finishes on 26 from 14. 26 from 14. From 15, actually, he hits 1 4 and 2 6s. Kernan Henry, 19 not out from 8, 2 4s and 1 6. The Monrepo Stars, 72 for 3 from their reduced number of overs, 8 overs. So the South Castries Lions, they win by 25 runs.
Yes, good performance, good all-round performance there by the South Castries Lions. They put on a competitive total, 119. And the Stars really, after the first over, which they got some 10 runs, really struggled right throughout the innings, Clivers. Too many single-digit numbers. Certainly, that wasn't sufficient enough to have gotten them past the line.
I think too scoreboard pressure might have created some of the outcome there that we've gotten in this game. But nonetheless, congratulations to the Lions. They've rode today and they've taken 3rd place in the 2021 Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast. So finishing 3rd is the South Castries Lions, and Johnson Charles, really the main contributor there with the bat for the South Castries Lions. He getting some 60 odd runs and doing well for his team.
Yes, certainly led by example, had a captain's knock. And the bowlers really came out there with a plan and bowled very economical.
Yeah, very economical for the bowlers from the Lions. They came back really well, and the Lions, they again 2 years in a row towards the back end of the tournament, they're getting past the Monrepo Stars.
Yes, last year they were beaten in the finals, and this year they are beaten in the third place.
All right, so we've seen the third place playoff. We have the team finishing third, and fourth would be the Monrepo Stars. We're getting set for the big finals. The teams are out here already, getting set for the final game. That's game number 30 in the 2021 Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast. So we'll take a break and come back with the big finals here with the Choiseul Colports taking on the Micoud Eagles. So we take a break now and come back here to the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground.